Today we are talking about Lesson 4.01, Parts A and B, which revolve around circles and their equations. So today we are going to be right here on quiz 4.01A, and then tomorrow you should be taking 4.01B, so we're going to cover both of those in today's lesson. There's our vision and mission statement, as well as our code of conduct, and then our objectives and standard for today. So first we need to look at, before we get into all this information about a circle, this is the formula for the equation of a circle in standard or graphing form. So we're going to look at both of them. This is our graphing form. It is x minus h, all in parentheses, squared, plus y minus k, all in parentheses, squared, equals r squared, where hk is the center of your circle. So those coordinates, the x-coordinate of your circle is the h, and then the y-coordinate of your center is the k, and then r is your radius. And then there's also a video here that you can check out by going to this link right here, so you can type that into your internet browser if you would like to pause this. It's a Khan Academy video, and it shows us how to derive formulas, the formulas for a circle using Pythagorean theorem and distance formula. It's actually really cool, really interesting, just something additional that shows where this formula comes from. It's not a random thing that we just came up with and we use. It is actually, you can derive it by using the distance formula and Pythagorean theorem. So really cool. Make sure you check out that video. Now let's practice here. Here's our equation. And let's see on number 1. If you have number 1, a circle like number 1, you have x squared plus y squared equals r squared. What that means is that the center is at the origin. It's at 0, 0. Because that's really the same as saying x minus 0. Remember, this is your h and your k. Remember, it's x minus h, y minus k. Same as saying x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals whatever our radius is squared. Well, when you're subtracting 0 from something, that doesn't change it at all. So it's just x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So that's what it looks like. There'll be nothing subtracted or added from x and y if the center is at the origin, 0, 0. You'll just see that x squared plus y squared. But on number 2, notice we have just x squared, which means that the h value is 0 because it's x minus h squared. There's nothing being subtracted, so that means it has to be 0. And then it's y minus 2 squared. So remember, the formula is y minus k. So the sign of k is going to be the opposite of what it looks like in the formula. When it looks negative here, when you see the minus 2, it's actually positive. So k would be 2 because it's y minus k. So k is just positive 2. And then the radius, remember, it's equal to the radius squared. Well, if it's equal to 1, we take the square root of that to find the radius. Square root of 1, well, that's just 1. So 1 is the radius. So that means that the center is hk, so the center is at 0, 2. And then the radius is 1. And that is what we can tell about this circle from its equation. So that's pretty cool and a pretty easy way to find the center and the radius. What about this one? X plus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. Let's find the center, find the radius, and then let's graph it. So first of all, we need to find the center. Remember, that's our hk. And remember, it's x minus h plus y minus k. It's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So the center is that hk, and remember the signs are going to be opposite of what they look like in the equation. So when you see that plus 5, it really means we're subtracting a negative 5. That h value is negative because remember it's x minus h. So that would be x minus a negative 5 would make it x plus 5. And then y minus k, that means k must be 3, positive 3. So there's your center. Now the radius, remember this is r squared. And always remember that that part of the equation there is r squared. So to find actually r, the actual radius, you have to take the square root. Square root of 16, that's just 4. Radius is 4. So the center is at negative 5, 3. There's our negative 5, 3 for our center. And then the radius, so we went left 5, up 3, negative 5, 3 to plot the center. The radius is 4. So that means that this circle stretches out 4 units in all directions. So I'm just going to put 4 points here. There's 1, 4 straight to the right, 4 straight up, 4 to the left, over at negative 9, and then 4 down. This is kind of just an easy way that we can get a little sketch of the circle. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. But you should have that radius of 4, and this is going to be a real ugly circle. I don't have my circle tool like I usually do in our regular classroom, but it should have that radius of 4 throughout. So that's all you do. You would plot the center and then make sure you're showing that it has a radius of 4, and then we're good to go on that one. Now we can have some excuse me, some practice on this from this site right down here, HTTP, and it's at Math Open Ref. And if you want to practice, what this will do is it'll let you kind of drag a circle, and it lets you play around with making a circle and then seeing what the center and the radius are and how the equation changes with different centers and different radii. So make sure you check that out. Here's a really cool real-life application of the center of a circle. So there's a seismology station, and it's located at, we'll say, 45103 on the grid. Scientists at the station find that the epicenter of a recent earthquake was 72 miles away. So from whatever that center, that location of the station, we know that the epicenter of an earthquake was 72 miles away in some direction, but we don't know the direction, from that center. And it says, what equation describes the set of points on the grid that could be the epicenter? Well, what that is that's all the points that are 72 miles away from that particular station. So when you do that, remember that's the definition of a circle, the set of points equidistant from a given point. So there is a certain circle that would represent all the possible locations of that earthquake. All you have to do is substitute in 45,103 for your center, the HK, and then the radius of 72 into our circle equation, and you plug them in, x minus 45 plus y minus 103, and remember each of those are squared, equals 72 squared, so we just square out the 72 to get 5,184. And this is a really cool way that circle equations are actually used in real life. So that would be how we could find the set of points where that actually could be located. Now there's two different forms of the equation of a circle. One of them is the standard graphing form that we just looked at. It's the easiest way to graph a circle, but sometimes we need to use the general form of the equation of a circle. And it looks a little uglier, but all it is expanded version of this. So all we do is expand by using FOIL. We gather like terms, group in them, and get it set equal to 0, and then we simplify. So standard form is the one we've been looking at. There's also this general form that we're going to look at now. Now let's look here. We want to write in general form the equation of a circle that is given in standard form. So here's our standard form right here. X plus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 36. First step is to expand and use our FOIL in order to simplify. So here's a reminder of how you expand. But we're going to actually do it too. X plus 4 times x plus 4 plus y minus 5 times y minus 5. And remember that all of that was equal to 36. So we're just expanding out, and I should have put it right down here, but we're expanding out those two binomials that are being squared. Then you use FOIL, first times first, outside times outside, inside times inside, and last times last. And you wind up getting x squared, first times first, outside times outside is 4x, inside times inside is 4x, last times last is 16. And then we repeat the same process with the y's. So first times first is y squared. Outside times outside is negative 5y. Inside times inside is another negative 5y. And then last times last, negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. And I know we're running out of room there. But what happens there is we just gather like terms. 4x plus 4x gives us 8x. And then the negative 5y and negative 5y gives us negative 10y. Everything else stays the same. And we still have that equals 36 on the right-hand side. So from there, we try to get it to look more like that general form that we looked at on the last slide. So we put x squared plus y squared first, because remember, that's what it looked like, x squared plus y squared. Then we want just the x term, just the y term, and then just the number, the constant last. So then there's your x. We're just rearranging at this point. We move the x, the y, the 8x, the negative 10y is right here. And then we have a 16 plus 25. And then we subtract our 36 over because remember it was equal to 0. So the final thing we have to do is just combine up the constants. Combine up the constants, and we'll get 16 plus 25 minus 36, which gives us 5. Everything else stays the same. All we did here was rearrange. Don't get confused from here to here. Literally all we did was rearrange, regroup, and combine the numbers up. And that is the equation of the circle in its general form. X squared plus y squared plus 8x minus 10y plus 5 is equal to 0. So then we can also go from standard form, so where we were here, to the general form back to the standard, or excuse me, from the general form to the standard form by completing the square. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that in the next recording. So that will wrap up this recording, and then there'll be a short recording, a second recording, part 2, where we'll talk about going from our general form to our graphing form.